Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Right from the 222 and the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every rocks, that's we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the League TV, where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch of Brady's last play. We bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots. With Derek Coventry, Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the blogs at the drive, till my heart's on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
Breaking news. Former NBA center Oliver Miller, affectionately known as the Big O, has passed away at the age of 54. Miller was renowned for his skills on the court and his larger-than-life presence. Born on April 6, 1970, in Fort Worth, Texas, Oliver Miller made a significant impact in the basketball world. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches, he played college basketball for the Arkansas Razorbacks from 1988 to 1992, where he was celebrated for his defensive prowess and exceptional passing ability for a big man. Miller entered the NBA as the 22nd overall pick in the 1992 draft, selected by the Phoenix Suns. Throughout his 8-year NBA career, he played for several teams, including the Suns, Detroit Pistons, Toronto Raptors, Dallas Mavericks, and Sacramento Kings. His best statistical season came in 1995 to 1996 with the Raptors, where he averaged 12.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.9 blocks, and 1.4 steals per game. Despite his on-court talents, Miller's career was often overshadowed by challenges related to his weight, which affected his mobility and endurance. After his NBA tenure, he continued to play basketball internationally and in various minor leagues, including stints with the Harlem Globetrotters and teams in Greece and Poland. Miller's passing is a significant loss to the basketball community. Fans and former teammates remember him not only for his contributions on the court, but also for his charismatic personality and the unique flair he brought to the game. As of now, details surrounding his death have not been publicly disclosed. The basketball world mourns the loss of a player who left an indelible mark on the sport.
All right, welcome to Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. on this Wacky Wednesday edition. You got to go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you are able to join us every Tuesday through Friday right now at 9 p.m. Summertimes we'll be adding the Monday show back again, but for right now it's Tuesday through Friday, 9 p.m. It's myself tonight. And yeah, you know, the NBA mourns another fraternity brother passing on. That is Oliver Miller, passed away today. He had about an 8-year NBA career, roughly. Stints in Phoenix, Detroit, Dallas, Toronto. had a small run with Sacramento there for a little while, then went back to Phoenix to end his NBA career. Take it back. He played in Minnesota, I believe, for a year in 2003, 2004, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, you're talking Oliver Miller, probably one of the guys that I know for a fact, we've all poked fun at Oliver Miller when he had, his days in Sacramento. I remember was it the Sacramento? Was it the Phoenix Gorilla? I believe the mascot made fun of him dressing up in a big, sumo suit and something. But, weight was a thing that was derailing Oliver Miller in his career. Probably most notable was his run with the Phoenix Suns in 1993 when they went all the way to the finals against the Chicago Bulls, ended up losing to the Chicago Bulls. Then he moved on to Detroit and Toronto, where I believe in Toronto he had his best season at 12 points a game and 7 rebounds a game. So, yeah, I mean, the NBA is, lost another guy. It's Oliver Miller, passed away today at the age of 54, I believe. So, yeah, prayers out to Oliver Miller and his family and to the NBA Brotherhood. Leha, MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. That diamond hard concrete work, you contact MCS General Contracting today. It's done right the first time, every time. Not only is it backed by MCS General Contracting, it's backed by us here at Sweep the League, 100% guaranteed. Like we say, it's going to be done right the first time, every time. That's MCS General Contracting. What's good, everyone? Let's cook. Yes, sir. We got a lot to get into tonight. Good evening, Joel Cologne. My condolences to Oliver Miller's family. Oliver was one of the first bigs that could shoot from three. He really was. And if you remember Oliver Miller, especially in the Phoenix, like I said, those first couple of years in Phoenix, very long wingspan. That was really, really tough for big guys. I mean, he stood only, I think, 6'9", but I mean, played like a huge 7-footer with that wingspan that he had. Was really, 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 really tough on the defensive side of the ball. So yeah, and I remember if it's not, it was him. Phoenix also had remember Richard Dumas was another guy who made a name for himself with Phoenix around that time. He went on to Philadelphia, I believe, where he signed a bigger contract there. But nonetheless, I mean, Oliver Miller, yeah, one of the unsung heroes in that Phoenix Suns finals run back in '93. Yeah, condolences do go out to Oliver Miller. Shout out to everyone that's joining us tonight. We've got a lot to get into. NFL doings. There's just so many free agents signings going on. A couple of trades that have happened. Guys, throw it in the chat. If there's one that you want to talk about, we can talk about that. Also, NBA talk. I know the Spurs are playing tonight. Not even going to get onto that subject, but MVP talk. So, you've got obviously Jokic, you've got Shea. It's hand in hand, head to head right now. A lot of people have SGA winning the MVP. A lot of people still have Jokic winning the MVP. Statistically speaking, Nikola Jokic probably has the advantage, but it's not by much. So the question being for NBA MVP, because the season is winding down. I think we are at 20 games, if not less, on the NBA season. Does it come down to record? I mean, obviously OKC has one of the best records in the league. So I think they're number 2 behind Cleveland right now, if I'm not mistaken. This is not including the game tonight against Boston for Oklahoma City. Does record play a huge part on this year's MVP? We're going to go over the statistics. We're going to get a couple of opinions. One of them, Colin Cowherd, giving us on SGA. Also, we're going to get Coach Malone from Denver talking about Jokic. Also, Jason Tatum, another guy here, never gets mentioned on NBA MVP talk yet. Seems like he's always been overlooked. Now, we'll get into my MVP candidates in a little while, and we'll see what you guys think. Drop them in the comments here. And also, if we have time, maybe we'll do a live mock draft with you guys. Maybe we'll throw the Cowboys in the fire. We'll throw maybe the Saints. We'll get a team out there, and we'll do a mock draft live. Let's try to get this going, because I may start doing some live mock drafts with you guys here on Sweep the Leagues for some extra content, since we got the NFL draft coming up here very, 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 very soon. But nonetheless, let's get into, you know what? Let's start the night with some. How do you guys want to start with some NFL talk? Let's start with some NFL talk.
This is grading free agent moves from the first day of NFL free agency. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks is an A for me. I think this is a fantastic move. I think he's going to be great in the Seahawks system. They really need to get him some more weapons, though. I don't think JSN is going to be enough, but I really think he's going to be great for the Seahawks. Justin Fields to the Jets is a B- for me. I just don't like the contract. $30 million guaranteed is not that good. I definitely think his mobility will help improve this Jets offense, though, and he could make a splash there. Up next, Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. This is an A+ for me. Fantastic move. I was calling for this move all offseason. They desperately needed a pass rusher and a guy who can stop the run. Josh Sweat can do both of those. The Cardinals made a great move here for a very great price. Up next, Milton Williams to the Patriots. This is also a great move. A lot of people were calling for this one. It's definitely an A in my books. I think it's a fantastic move, and Milton Williams will be great on the Pats. For Darius Slay to the Steelers, it's a C+ for me. I don't think he's that good of a corner, plus they may have overpaid him a bit. The cornerback market was absolutely terrible this offseason. People paid a lot of money for overrated corners. But DJ Reed to the Lions is definitely an A+ in my opinion. They got him for a very good deal. $18 million a year is a lot, but I think he's a great corner. This is the one deal of the corners that I really like. Up next, Hassan Reddick to the Buccaneers. I'm going to give this a B-. I definitely think it could be a good move if Hassan Reddick can return to that form he already was. They only gave him a 1-year deal. Still a good deal. They need a pass rusher. Larry Tunsil being traded to the Commanders. This is an A for the Commanders. They only gave up a second-round pick and a couple others. But for the Texans, what are we doing? Their offensive line is already horrible, and they gave up their best offensive lineman. C.J. Stroud is in shambles. For Taulala Hufanga to the Broncos, this is definitely a B+ in my opinion. A very great signing. They needed a safety. They paid him a little more than I would have wanted to. He's had a couple injuries, but he was at an all-pro level a couple years ago. Cam Bynum to the Colts is definitely a B+ for me. The Colts needed a safety. I think they overpaid him a little bit, but it is the first day of free agency. Everyone overpays. I think it's a really good move. He's going to be very great in that Colts secondary.
All right, so there you saw the first day one of NFL free agency. Shout out to @SportsTake_21 on TikTok. Be sure to go follow him. He does a lot of great work for NFL, especially in the NFL free agency period. We've got his day two movers and winners and losers that we'll get to here in just a little bit. A couple of comments rolling in now about the MVP talk. I'd say technically record matters with MVP trophy. However, can OKC win without SGA? They could probably do well. Can Denver win without Jokic? Absolutely not. That's where it stands. Love that, because talking to Derek Gervin from time to time during the day, you know, we talk about the exact same thing you mentioned, Joel. I love the way how you mentioned that, because if you take SGA out of, well, he's not on the OKC roster. Basically, he's not playing. They still have a lot of talent. Jalen Williams is there. Chet Holmgren. You've got Hardenstein playing really, really well. They've got guys that can compete. Now, will they be the top team in the West? Probably not. I'm going to say definitely not. They wouldn't be the top team in the West. Would they still be a playoff team? I would think so. I think they'd have enough to still be a playoff team if SGA wasn't playing. Now, Jokic, on the other hand, he completely is Denver. I mean, everything about him. He's the reason why Russell Westbrook has gone up another notch in his career right now. Everybody always bagged on Russell Westbrook, but this year Jokic has been able to make it work with Russ. Russ is having some really good games. He's having a really good season too. So yeah, I would say when you talk about impact, Jokic is up there. And that's the reason why my Tatum, segment later on is going to go based off of impact, because you never hear Jason Tatum in that top 3, top 4 MVP talk. And I'm curious as to why. So we'll get to all that later. And then you also left. So Philly wins the Super Bowl and proceeds to dismantle their defense. Make it make sense. That's the thing too. So, you saw what CJ Gardner Johnson, he gets gone. He's gone. You've seen Philadelphia just dismantle a Super Bowl winning defense. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And honestly, I want to say that this NFL offseason has been crazier than probably any that I've seen lately. I mean, they did mention about Larry Tunsil. going to the Commanders. Now, I get the Houston thing. Now, Houston's offensive line, you've had a lot of people questioning Houston's offensive line. Why, it's just gotten worse, obviously. But you see the moves that Houston has still made. They've made some really good offseason moves. The offensive line, there are a ton of offensive line guys still available in free agency. There's still a really good amount. Plus, they did get additional picks for Tunsil. They can really build that offensive line through the draft. And I think that might be something that they're looking at. But if you're a Texans fan, I wouldn't really worry right now about it. The offensive line they can still make a lot of great moves for the offensive line. DeMarcus Lawrence is in Seattle now. Rico Dowdle, the only running back technically. I mean, for the Cowboys, he's a Panther. What are the Cowboys doing? I've seen a couple people ask about Cowboys. Well, I mean, they're laying in the winds, put it that way. If you're worried about running back, I posted a little while ago, Marion Hampton out of UNC. That would be a name that I would look for Dallas. I know Ashton Genty's the popular pick, and if he's there for Dallas, I'm pretty sure they would probably run with Ashton Genty, but possibly seeing that Genty may go before Dallas's pick. I know it's weird because Dallas has so many positions that they've got to upgrade on. You would think running back would be a priority. So I like Omarion Hampton out of UNC for Dallas right there. I think that would be a really good pick for them. If they decide to go, defensively, I mean, we still don't know about Michael Parsons. He's still a Cowboy. And I know we get flack for saying that, he probably won't be there. We don't know. People say you can't trade a cornerstone piece. You can't trade, a defensive MVP. Well, Dallas traded away a cornerstone piece in Luka. The Cowboys traded away a cornerstone piece in Herschel Walker way back when. No one is untouchable in sports. Michael Parsons, if he can bring you a haul and it helps you get better right away, it makes the rebuild just that much quicker. Why don't you make that move? You really want to commit all that money to one player who tends to just not show up at the end. I mean, I'm okay. I'm not a Cowboy fan by any means. I'm fine if they spend the money there. That's fine with me. Do whatever the hell they want. But let me let you guys on a little bit of insight. You've seen it on a couple of sports talk shows on TV. You see what San Francisco's doing. You talk about gutting everything and starting over. San Francisco just signed Mac Jones to, I think, a 2-year, $7 million deal to back up Brock Purdy. They don't have Debo. Brandon Ayuk, he's dangled out there. Kyle Jusic, he's gone. Greenlaw, bye. I mean, they're a decimated team. But if you guys remember, if you've been with Sweep the League from the beginning for a while now, you know myself and Coach Gio, when they made that Super Bowl recently against Kansas City, we said, that's it. Their Super Bowl window is closed. They had to win that Super Bowl because it was closed. There was no more opportunities for them. And point proven there. San Francisco Super Bowl window was there. Boom, gone, lost. Whether they won or lost, that was it. That Super Bowl window was done. It was closed for a while. So they are dismantling that entire team. Would you be surprised, Sweep the League Nation, if you woke up tomorrow, if you went through the weekend and we all get, the breaking news on our phones that Christian McCaffrey has been traded? Wouldn't surprise me. Why? Because in order for you to build your franchise, You've got to move. You've got to make the tough moves. I've always said Jerry West said it best, and I can't quote it because I don't remember it word for word. But the popular decision isn't always the popular decision isn't always the best one, and the best decision isn't always the popular one. And that's what we're trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Just because you have a bona fide Hall of Famer on defense, a top whatever on the defensive side of the ball for Dallas, if you can upgrade more than one position and get draft picks in return, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer whatsoever. You make it. Another team can pay him. Everybody thought the world was over in Dallas when they traded Herschel Walker back in the day. What are we going to do? We're going to go win some damn Super Bowls. That's what they were going to do. They had a plan in place. Now, albeit Schottenheimer as coach, Jerry's the head, Jerry's the owner and GM, albeit they don't have a Jimmy Johnson there to make this kind of move or make this kind of deal. And full disclosure, I'm not saying they're going to trade Micah, but we did say out of the three guys, Micah would be the last one. He would definitely be the last one to be signed. He wasn't the priority. He never was. It was Dak and CD. That was the priority. They go and free up all this money by restructuring CD, restructuring Dak. They want to give it all to Micah. Does Micah fix the problems on the defensive side of the ball to help you win games? All the money you're going to commit to one player, you can commit it to a couple of players here, a player here. You can get a player in return that's an impact player to include draft picks, even for this year's draft. If the Cowboys go in the first round and don't draft a running back, which on receiver side, I still think Stephon Diggs ends up a Cowboy at the end of the day. I'll put that out there. I think Stephon Diggs does end up as a Cowboy. But my thing is this. If they don't go with a running back in the first round, you're looking at guys like Pierce out of Tennessee. I mean, you're going to have to shore up that defensive line. I think that's the way they go. Maybe we'll run a quick mock draft for the Dallas Cowboys here at the end. But the thing is this. You can always trade a star. You can always trade a franchise player as long as the deal is right. It's got to be right. Right now, Dallas cannot solve all the issues that they have. They can't fill in all the gaps by just re-signing Micah Parsons to a max deal, to a deal that, makes him the highest paid, defensive player, maybe one of the highest paid players in the league, period. They just can't do it. In my opinion, they can't do it. It's a tough sell. And like I said, I'm completely biased down the middle. I'm not a fan. I'm not an enemy. I call it like I see it. And I just can't see committing that much. Quarterback rookie contracts is the fastest way to go now. It really is. Tell me that Kyle Shanahan is not the most overrated coach in the league. Everyone talks about his coaching tree, and the guy hasn't won anything, 2 Super Bowl trips, but 0 championships. Exactly. I was involved in one of those Super Bowl trips that was not very good at all. But I'll say this, Kyle Shanahan he's not the most overrated coach. He's a very good coach. He can get it done. And he's proven that he's a winner. I can't really say, and I'm not disagreeing 100%, Joel, but I will say this. I don't consider Kyle overrated. Not yet. I mean, I don't consider him not overrated just yet. Put it that way. Been in the Super Bowl with the Niners as a head coach. Went Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons. Didn't get it done there. I mean, I don't think he's overrated just yet. Give him a little more time. I will say this: if they can get a rebuild done, I want to see how it goes for him there. Let's see how he can do on a rebuild in a team for San Francisco. But if I'm a Niners fan, I'm wondering now: am I going to get that alert? Am I going to get the breaking news on the phone here that says Christian McCaffrey has been traded? It would not surprise me. It really would not surprise me at all to possibly see that happen. Because remember, San Francisco's rebuild. They're rebuilding, man. They're losing players left and right. They're rebuilding. So, I mean, what would the rebuild be? It would be a complete overhaul. Exactly. I mean, you've already seen all the players they've lost. So they're cleaning house. And then, you said being gone, that's McCaffrey's safety blanket. I mean, best fullback in football, gone now. To me, it screams that San Francisco's not going to win. Next couple of years, they're not going to win probably. If you're McCaffrey, do you want to be there still? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say a crazy thing, but this is where, you would probably have to make that phone call. If you're Jerry Jones, if you need a running back really quick and, say, hey, what can we get, for Christian McCaffrey? Is that a Micah Parsons type deal? And I'm throwing spitball stuff out there. I'm not here to start rumors or anything like that. Joel, you did ask a question. What did they give up for McCaffrey? I've got it right here, man. So the Panthers are in exchange. They received a 2023 second round pick, which ended up being Brenton Strange, 2023 third round, 2023 fourth round, 2024 fifth round. So the players in return were Darnell Washington, Nick Herbig, and Chow Smith Wade. So yeah, they didn't really use those picks really, really well, to be honest with you. But in return, you're talking about 4 picks for Christian McCaffrey. I mean, a lot of teams would probably give up that many picks for Christian McCaffrey. Probably not even hesitate. Being that he's coming off of injury-riddled season, you can probably get him for less than that now. I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we see those alerts coming, over the weekend or soon, or next couple of weeks, maybe even before the draft or during the draft, that Christian McCaffrey might be on the block or might be dealt from San Francisco. I don't think the Niners can get that much in return right now. Dude is breaking down. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you're a team that can win now, if you're I'm not going to say Detroit because you got the two-headed monster there. I'm not going to say the Eagles because you just signed Jamal or AJ Dillon to go along with Saquon Barkley. So, your Super Bowl teams, could you go maybe with the Bills? I mean, you've got James Cook already there. Kansas City, they're more in needs of receivers because their receivers can't stay out of trouble. I mean, you got teams there that you can probably go with. Does Tom Brady make a move to get, Christian McCaffrey for the Raiders? Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And you said the Pat, I wouldn't take him. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The Pats probably weren't going to pay or even trade for him. Again, you're talking about a team in the Patriots that have so many question marks at so many positions. Don't get me wrong. The Patriots have had a pretty good offseason. I like what they've done in the offseason so far. But I will say this, they're not going to make a move for Christian McCaffrey. And the Patriots aren't done. They're not done. They got, from what I understand, I've talked to a couple of people that cover the Patriots, and they got a couple of things that they are working on, but mainly in the draft part. Mainly in the draft. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, and you probably have heard it, they're dangling Milton out there. And I think they can get a pretty good deal for Milton. So We'll see what happens there. McCaffrey on the Patriots doesn't make any sense. I'm talking about a team that's right there. So Najee Harris has become a Charger. You're stuck with Jalen Warren in Pittsburgh. You just added DK. Pittsburgh could be a team. They could be a player. They definitely could be a player for him. You know, Darius Slay is in Pittsburgh now. So they're kind of building a little bit there. Pittsburgh could be there. You mentioned the Dolphins. The Dolphins is another team that is a good possibility. You know, that's a very good possibility. I don't think the Bills have the assets either. Maybe the Dolphins, they probably need somebody like that. The Dolphins would be good. I'm going to say this. I think Pittsburgh might be an option. I think that would be an option for McCaffrey. If I'm even looking at anything like that, that could be an option right there. I think it depends on who the quarterback is. Right now, they're looking at Rodgers. They're looking at the possibility of bringing back Russell Wilson. I mean, I've been saying it for a while. You know, a little while ago with Jerry. I mean, you make the call if you can. I mean, you're not going to probably pay him a whole lot. I'm sure you can get San Francisco to eat some of the money that they're paying him. Whoop, whoop, bolt up. Jacob Barrett, yep, Charger fan. Najee Harris. And they just signed Mike Williams tonight, too. So he's back. He's back. And yeah, you know, he is, man. Rodgers is, you know, one more year. In fact, a gut instinct in me tells me he's going to retire. He's just not going to play next year. I don't think he's going to play at all. And if he does, the Giants don't want him now. So you're limited to what? Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and really that's about it. It's just two spots. I mean, he could probably go the Brett Favre triangle and, you know, obviously Packers, Jets, and then end up in Minnesota. He can do the Brett Favre, you know, trio there. I think out of both teams, Minnesota makes some really good sense for him. Aaron Jones is running back there still. He played with Aaron Jones. Dynamic receivers in Addison and Jefferson. I like what Minnesota's done, but I don't know if Minnesota wants to commit to Rodgers, knowing they have JJ McCarthy still. Who knows, man? I've read up on a lot of stuff and I looked at a lot of stuff. So I've seen some crazy ideas being thrown around, anywhere from Justin Herbert being traded to Minnesota for draft picks and JJ McCarthy, which would give Harbaugh his quarterback that he had at Michigan. So I've heard some crazy stuff. I don't ever say, you know, on air, and I don't ever push the narrative on social media because, again, to me, if it makes sense, I'll talk about it. If it doesn't, I won't. But I'm not going to lie. Herbert to Minnesota makes a whole hell of a lot of sense because they were talking about giving up McCarthy and their primary offensive lineman, which I can't remember offhand who it is, as well as draft picks for Herbert. So just throwing that out there. Was mentioned on a couple of places that I've seen, and I've talked to a couple of people that might have a little bit of knowledge of some stuff there, but nonetheless, man, we're going to get into the next part, day 2 of free agency. Let's get to that video. Then we'll take a break right after that. Let's go to day 2 of NFL free agency.
This is grading the biggest moves of the offseason so far. First up, DK Metcalf to the Steelers. I'm giving this a C for the Steelers. I don't think it's that great of a trade. Another diva wide receiver in that wide receiver room. I don't know if he's really going to turn around this offense, but it's still a great wide receiver. Up next, Devontae is an A+. I think he's a perfect fit for the Rams. I'm glad he's leaving Aaron Rodgers. Him and Puka Nacua are going to be unstoppable. We've seen Stafford have 2 elite wide receivers and still put up numbers. Up next, Geno Smith to the Raiders. I'm giving this a B+ for the Raiders. I think this is a really good move. Only thing that's concerning is Geno Smith is about 36, but I think he's going to be a fantastic QB. The Raiders just need some consistency at the quarterback position to be real contenders in the playoffs. Debo to the Commanders, I also really like. I'm going to give this move a B, though, because Debo had such a terrible year last year. We really don't know what Debo Samuel we're going to be getting. I think it's a great move for both the teams, but the Commanders definitely won this trade. Up next, Joe Tooney to the Bears is an A+. I don't know how they managed to pull this off. They didn't give that much in return for him, but they got an all-pro tackle who's going to help protect Caleb Williams. They are definitely boosting this offensive line, and Caleb Williams is going to have a great second year. As for Jonah Jackson, I'm going to give this one a C+. He was just a bit inconsistent last year. He had some injuries. It's definitely an upgrade to what they have now, but I don't think it's the best move they could have done, but still a great move. Then Christian Kirk to the Texans. I'm giving this move a C as well. I just don't think it threads the needle. Christian Kirk is coming off of a season-ending injury. He's a good wide receiver, but we'll see if he works in this Texans offense. I just don't know if it's that great of a move. And finally, Harold Landry to the Patriots. I'm giving this an A-. I think this is a fantastic move. I don't know why they gave up on Harold Landry. He's a fantastic pass rusher, and he's going to work great in this Mike Vrabel-led Patriots team.
All right, so there you get more NFL movement. Again, shout out to @sportstakes_21 on TikTok. Be sure to go follow him. You can follow Sweep the League on TikTok @SweepTheLeagueRadio as well, because we've got content on there. But yeah, great stuff by @sportstakes_21. So, Devontae Adams, another guy on the move, joining the Rams there. They bring back Matthew Stafford. You got Puka Nacua. You've got Kyron's there. You've got Devontae there now. McVay's building a pretty good team right there. Pretty good team. The defense was already good. Already good. They were already a good team on defense. So, they're going to keep building there for the Rams, and the Devontae Adams move I really, really like. The Geno to the Raiders, it makes sense, but I think they still got to go get another QB. I know Pete Carroll's his guy. Geno's Pete Carroll's guy, but I think they still got to make a move and get another QB somewhere, probably through the draft as well. Hey, leave Herbie alone. I understand, man. I'm just repeating a little bit of what was talked about. So, not saying Herbie's going to go anywhere. So, trust me, man. Trust me on that. I'm not saying he's going to. I also have him, but yeah. And I have to think, for you fantasy football players out there, that Devontae, Puka Nacua, that duo is going to be a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams. Plus, they don't have a raggedy ass quarterback throwing them the ball either. They've got Matthew Stafford throwing them the ball, Super Bowl winning Matthew Stafford throwing them the ball. I mean, the Rams are going to look good again. They moved on from Cooper Kupp, and as great as Cooper Kupp was, they upgraded with Devontae Adams. So that team's going to look really, really good next year. One of my favorites to come out of the NFC, I still like Detroit next year. Philadelphia did take a backseat in the offseason here, I feel, but Detroit, DJ Reed, getting him on the defense side of the ball, it just makes a lot of sense. I like Detroit again. I really like the Rams this year again as well. So those two teams are going to be battling out. Of course, Philly will still be there. Everybody's high on the Commanders. I know Devo's there. You got Tunzel there now. The Commanders are building, but the Deebo Samuel moves, and it's crazy because during the season, when DeAndre Hopkins was signed to the Kansas City Chiefs, I told Derek and Gio, I said, for me, it feels like an Odell Beckham type of move where you're going to get production, but you're not going to get the player that the fans want. You're not going to get, leaping in the air, one-handed catch, touchdown grab after touchdown grab. And Derek said, DeAndre is going to move the chains. He's going to move the chains for, Patrick Mahomes. And that's what DeAndre did. He made key catches. He moved the chains. And that's same thing with Deebo Samuels. Commander fans are all up in arms. Deebo, we got Deebo. It's going to, Terry McLaurin, we got Brian Robinson Jr., Jayden's here, it's going to be a big time thing. Now you got, offensive line help. Don't put too much stock into Deebo Samuel. It's got the feeling of that Odell Beckham type of move where you're going to get production. You're not going to get the production that you saw in San Francisco. So you want to pump the brakes a little bit there. You definitely want to pump the brakes because you're not going to get that kind of contribution that you normally would get from Deebo in San Francisco. You're not going to get that in Washington. Obviously, Terry McLaurin's going to be the man still. Brian Robinson Jr. I even love Chris Rodriguez, a running back there. He was one of my favorite running backs coming out of the draft. Love Chris Rodriguez. He's going to be a beast to have for Washington. So I will say, it felt like that. So the Deebo Samuel moves is not really huge. Christian Kirk, just to mention that a little bit, the Texans, they're going to have to add another receiver somewhere. I think, maybe going after Cooper Kupp there will really help. But now it's time to concentrate on the offensive line. No reason to get some of these receivers if you can't protect the quarterback, you can't protect CJ Stroud. Makes no sense to go out and get any of the receivers that are out there right now. You got to shore up that offensive line. Rudy Campos Jr. talking to you NFL wise. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the way back, we've got NBA talk, MVP talk, and your guys' thoughts of Jason Tatum. Why is he overlooked here? Last comment here before the commercial break. I have a sentimental shout out and thank you to Jonathan Jones, undrafted cornerback, 2-time champ with the Pats. Signed with the Commanders. We'll miss him forever. A Patriot. Definitely did sign with the Commanders. Forever a Patriot, man. Shout out to Jonathan Jones there. Rudy Campos Jr. Sweep the League. We'll be back here in just a minute. First, a word from our sponsor. And of course, like we've been mentioning, Sweep the League is teaming up with iHeartRadio. We are both teaming up with Imagine Dragons to send some lucky fans to go check out their concert in theater at the Hollywood Bowl. Who's going to win? Who's going to go and attend that theater concert? We'll find out here very soon. As Sweep the League and I Am Refocus Radio team up with Imagine Dragons to send some lucky fans to the concert in theater. We'll be back. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy, Derek, and Coach Kia. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business.
Thank you for such an incredibly special night. Thank you for giving us the gift of being able to share music with you. Wheels up from the off the ground. Nowhere but to roll around.
If you didn't know that Nikola won 3 MVPs, and I put player A and player B on paper, and you had no idea that the guy who's averaging a triple-double, the guy who's top 3 in the 3 major statistical categories, things that no one's ever done, he wins the MVP 10 times out of 10. And I get it. Like, it's different for everybody. Like, MVP, what it means for you might be different for what it means for Sean. Cool. And again, I'm not like, I will never negative recruit. Like, Shea is not a good player, great player. And if he wins it, I'll actually, clap my hands and be happy for him because he's such a great guy who's a great player and who's good for this game. So it's not Nikola versus Shea. For me, it's me promoting my guy because I know what he means to this game. And when you look at it from a historical perspective, he's doing things that no one's ever done.
SGA, Oklahoma City, wrapped up the MVP over Jokic. There's 3 reasons I would give it to SGA. And number 1 is his team is much better. It does matter how good your team is. How valuable can you really be if your team isn't very good? Number 2 is SGA is playing with a much younger team. Their average age is only 1 year older than the Auburn. And it's harder to play with young players. Young players, especially on the road, are much less consistent. SGA is a much better defender. It's called most valuable player. It is not best player. It's not even most productive player. His second best player, Chet Holmgren, is hurt regularly. So there are a lot of nights he's babysitting this offense. Jokic has Michael Porter, Gordon, Jamal Murray, veteran coaching staff. Not a bunch of kids here.
All right, you heard from Mike Malone, coach of the Denver Nuggets, talking about Nikola Jokic. And then you heard Colin Cowherd talking about SGA. Both guys making cases as to why one player should be MVP. Now, in Malone's defense, he said he would clap for SGA if he won. He's a great player. He's a great person. That's the thing that I like about the MVP award this year. It's 2 guys right now, neck and neck. Everybody else is, they have opportunities. I mean, they do have opportunities there. And I'm bringing up my list right now. So they've got opportunities there. And I totally understand, that, you could make a case for people who are going to say, well, Giannis has an opportunity, but I mean, 36 wins on the season for the Bucks. To me, that eliminates Giannis out there. And I know it's MVP. It's most valuable player, not most valuable player on what, for a team. And I know record wise, I get that, Giannis is averaging 30 points a game. He's averaging 12 rebounds, almost 6 assists a game, 1.2 blocks. So, I mean, Giannis has the numbers. Outside of that, you look at record wise, I mean, then you're talking about Donovan Mitchell being up there as considered to be an MVP candidate. I mean, they have the best record in the league, and it's all due in part to, yes, Donovan Mitchell being the leader of the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's where Jason Tatum comes in, having the second best record in the Eastern Conference, third best record in the league, 47-19. That's where that comes in. To me, Tatum's been the most consistent out of him and Jaylen Brown this year, so he should be thrown in the mix. I mean, there's so many cases you can make for other players. For me, neck and neck, when he talks about MVP right now, it's Shea and it's Nikola Jokic. We're going to get into the stats right now. Let's bring up some of your comments right here. No lies detected. True comment on that, man. Appreciate you joining me. Jacob Eric grading the market for SGA for Sweep the League STL Network here. Sweep the League Network. Him and Anthony do a fantastic job on grading the market. You can catch that show here on the Sweep the League Network. So of the 2, I asked earlier, these guys are neck and neck. Shea's averaging 32. Nikola's averaging 28 points per game. Rebound wise, Shea's at 5. Nikola's at 13. I believe he leads the league in rebounding. Assists, Joker's at 10. Shea's at 6. They have identical steal stats. Both are averaging 1.8 steals. Now, on the opposite side, the other side of the ball, on blocks, Shea's averaging 1.1 while Joker is not even averaging a block a game. Turnovers, Shea gets less turnovers than Joker does. Percentage-wise, if you look at 3-point percentage, Joker shooting it better at 43% compared to Shea's 37%. So you're seeing that a lot of this, like, okay, this season alone, I think this is one of the closest MVP races that we've seen in a while. two great players. Joker putting up ridiculous numbers for a center, averaging a triple double. I mean, didn't he have a 40-20-20 game recently? I mean, something that's never been done, for in the NBA. I mean, Joker's putting up ridiculous numbers. Whoever wins. Personally, right now, I have Shea as my MVP. And the only reason why is because for the first time ever, personally, I've got to take record into consideration. In my opinion, for this year, I've got to take the team's record in consideration. After 66 games on the year, meaning that we've only got 16 games left on the season, OKC has 54 wins. Denver, after 65 games, obviously they have 17 left. They're at 42 wins. I got to go with Shea on this. SGA. Now, I had SGA winning last year's MVP title. I had him winning it, and it shocked a lot of people to know that Joker won the MVP. It really did. A lot of people had Shea winning it. But again, last year's was close. It was a neck and neck race between SGA and Joker last year. This year, it's even closer. It's even tighter. Statistically speaking, yeah, Jokic is better statistically speaking. But I really don't feel you can give him another MVP title over Shea this year. It's so tough. Record has to play a factor into this. Oklahoma City is on pace to win 66 games, I believe, which would, that would be a huge record. I mean, I don't think Denver's not going to get to 60 wins. I don't see them in the last 17 games. They'd have to win. Yeah, there's no way they can't get to 60 wins. This is where the separation is this year. It's got to be wins this year. And then we go to the other side of the spectrum. Well, okay, we're talking about wins. What about Cleveland? The best team in the league. Oh, Rudy, if you're talking about wins and how much wins that they got to have, then by that factor, Donovan Mitchell is the MVP of the league. I'm going to give you my three right now. It's Shea, it's Jokic, it's Donovan Mitchell. Those are my three MVP candidates right now. Number 4, Jason Tatum. MVP candidate is Jason Tatum. Now, number 5, you can throw Giannis in there. I might give you Giannis. I'm not upset at Brunson. One guy, John, actually is in here. He mentioned Brunson. I'm not upset at Brunson. I'll give you another guy. I like Jalen Brunson for MVP. He made the Knicks relevant again. Yeah. And you know what? Healthy-wise, if they can stay healthy, I think they're better than the Knicks if Porzingis doesn't play. He's out with illnesses right now. He's got a viral infection or something viral going on. If he's out for the season or he continues to miss games, I kind of like the Knicks over the Celtics right now. Hate to say it, but I kind of do. Jokic is low-key going to be a top 15 player all time, maybe top 10. I will say no doubt top 20, hands down already, probably top 20 on the pace that he's in. Top 15, I think he gets the top 15. I'm trying to go off the top of my head here. Is he top 10? You're talking Mike, Wilt, Bill Russell, Magic, Tim Duncan, and this is no order, guys. Kareem, Bird. You'd have to throw LeBron in there, sadly. Top 10. Oh, man. Big O's in there. Top 10 is going to be tough. He's a 3-time MVP candidate. MVP winner. He's been an MVP candidate every year that he's played well. I mean, he wasn't MVP candidate his first couple of years, but NBA champion. Okay. Can we be fair about this? When it comes to Joker, I think he's top 10 if he gets another title. I think top 10, maybe another title. I would say he's not top 10 yet. Top 20, easily. Easily top 20. I mean, 3 MVPs, already has an NBA title. He's putting up ridiculous numbers. I mean, and what's crazy is in an era of basketball where 3-point, attempts dominate games, this guy plays at every tier. Every tier. Scores. Gets his teammates involved, obviously, because he averages 10 plus assists. Crashes the boards, gets rebounds, makes his teammates better. Joker may be a top 20 player of all time, but there's no doubt in my mind he's a top 10 teammate of all time. Top 10 team player. He's up there. He's definitely a legend. He's definitely, I'm going to be real with you guys on this. We are finally getting, and for you kids out there, you don't remember him, and I remember him even before all the injuries that he had, with Portland. You kids enjoy Nikola Jokic. You enjoy Joker because you're getting what a lot of us old guys wanted in Arvydas Sabonis in the NBA. You are getting exactly what we wanted to see Arvydas do in the NBA in his younger days. We got old man Sabonis, and even old man Sabonis could still ball. But we were never lucky enough to see Arvydas in the NBA during his prime. You should sit back and enjoy Nikola Jokic right now because you are getting a prime Arvydas Sabonis player right now. I don't watch very many NBA games this year, but I do make a point to watch some of the Denver games because of him. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the guy's game. I really love watching him play on the court. Guy's great. Reminds me of Sabonis. Reminds me everything about Arvydas. And that's going a lot because if Arvydas played in the NBA in his prime, probably top 3 center of all time, with a case to maybe be the greatest all-around center of all time. I think even above Olajuwon. I think probably, now you know what, not even think. He would be the greatest all-around center of all time had we seen him in the NBA. That's what I'm going with on that. But yeah, I love that comment, y'all. Is Kendrick Perkins still saying that Joker wins because he's white? Oh, what a buffoon, that guy. Nothing to do with that at all, man. It has nothing to do with that at all. I can't really buy what Kendrick says a whole lot of times. But the Cavs team is a more collective player. And that's the problem. That's the thing with that. I've got Donovan at number 3 on my MVP race right now. I do have him number 3 on the Sweep the League race MVP ladder. But it is a collective team thing. You're talking about Garland and Mobley and Jaron Allen. They just added Hunter from Atlanta. Cleveland is primed to win right now and for a good amount of years. They're ready to win for a while. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I will agree with you 100% on that, Joel. It's more of a collective team thing for Cleveland. But you still got to give love where it's needed. And Cleveland, let's look at it this way. Cleveland isn't the best team in the East, if not for Mitchell. So I've got to put him up there. I definitely got to put him up there. They're a different team without Mitchell. What do you make of tonight's? Did they win? I don't pay attention, man, to be honest with you. Congratulations, Spurs. You won. You need 3 more wins now to get to the 30 mark, and then you're good. Because I said they were going to get 30 wins on the season. So At least give me 3 wins, then you can tank the rest of the way. But yeah, I didn't even know they won. Congratulations to the Spurs. Spurs won. Fake yay. That reminds me of the Michael Shea GIF that you play a lot, Leha, where he's like, yay. Just like that. Joker top 20 all time. Yeah, maybe, but he needs a lot for top 10. That's exactly what I said a little while ago. Maybe another title or two, and we can put him in the top 10. I think one more title gets him into the top 10. 2 titles. Even if he doesn't win another MVP, which I think he still will win another MVP sometime in his career, next couple of years. I think another title, I think he's top 10, man. I mean, look at all the guys ahead of him. You know, he's practically on the verge of, I don't know, you know what? I want to look it up now, because is he on the verge of actually averaging a triple double for his career? That's what I'm gonna look up here. But it's gonna take a whole, it's not gonna take a whole lot more to get him into the top 10. I think another title gets him into the top 10. I really think that's where it's going to be. One more title, he's top 10. Another MVP, he's still knocking on the door. But overall for his career, 20 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 6.9 assists a game. So if he ends the season averaging a triple double, you know, was something he's been close to. He had that 1 year where it was 24, 11, and 9.8. I mean, you're talking about a guy that could be top 10 easily if he averages a triple double this year, triple double next year. I mean, he's going to win another MVP. I think another title gets him into the top 10. If he ends his career averaging a triple double for his career, we got to start talking about moving him higher than just the top 10, man. Just the top 10. I said maybe Leha after he's done playing. We're going to save the conversation for when he's done playing. Prime Arvidas, prime Joker. Man, this is the part where I hate talking about this. I was able to see highlights of prime Sabonis. The guy's a dog, man. I'm gonna go this way. I go prime Sabonis by a smidge. By a smidge. Young Sabonis was quicker than what you're seeing with Jokic. Jokic is, you know, reminds me a lot of Tim Duncan, a lot of Brad Doherty. Gets to his spot, makes his moves. He's very, you know, he's like an assassin. He makes a move here, he makes a move there. He picks his parts of the court where to go. He knows his opponents. He knows the guy that's defending him. He can pick you apart left and right in so many ways. He reminds me of Timmy. He reminds me of Brad Doherty. You know, he reminds me of those guys. Olajuwon. You know, Olajuwon already knew what he wanted to do to you before he got the ball. And that's what I feel with Jokic. But if you're talking prime Arvidas, Jeff, shout out to Locked On Spurs, you're talking about a quicker guy at center. I think Arvidas, yes, is the better player. I would take prime Arvidas over Joker. Jokic is not a top 10 nor a top 20 because if he did not have Murray, he'd be just a good center, and that is not a knock on Jokic. But no NBA player in today's game can do it another star. True, he's got Murray, but even Jamal Murray's not. I mean, he's had a few good years, but this year he hasn't done much, and it's been all Jokic. So I think if you keep giving Jokic a good supporting cast, whether it be Murray or somebody else, I truly think that he could still be a dominant center. There really isn't nobody out there that's stopping him right now other than himself. Father time and injury are the only two things that can definitely stop Nikola Jokic right now. So I don't know. I'm gonna say that I don't know. I don't think Murray makes that big of a difference. I'm just gonna go on that since I'm gonna say something egregious but fair. Jokic wins another title and he bumps Bird off the top 10. They're basically like, oh God, no. So that's a massive take there. That's a massive, massive take. That's gonna go in the category where we say, yeah, that's a damn comment right there. So you're talking about Larry Bird, who injury riddled, yeah, career full of injuries, but Bird had what, 3 MVP titles. Championship wise, Bird's got more titles. It would take Jokic a few more titles to win, to knock Bird, or you know what, to get ahead of Bird. It'll take a lot of titles. I think another 2 titles and probably another MVP title, another MVP trophy. I think. Could it be done? It can be done. It can definitely be done. But I'll put it this way: you're not going to hear players talk about Joker the way they talk about Bird. You're not going to hear players. And you know what? You brought up Larry Bird. It's funny. I have a video here. We can play a video real quick here for about Larry Bird. Prime Dream, Wreck Prime Joker. Eesh. One-on-one, yeah. One-on-one, yeah. Dream is super quick. Prime Dream is super quick. Team-wise, I probably would take Joker over Dream. Team-wise, I would probably take Joker over Dream. I think the impact is bigger with Joker. Rudy, repeat what you said about Jokic, then think about Bird's career. I am thinking about it. I think what you get with people talking about Larry Bird, you know what? Let me just play this. I had this video up for a while here.
Talk to us about Larry, his game, and his talking.
Larry Bird, first of all, I don't think we give him enough credit.
For how good he was.
For how great that dude was, man. Larry Bird was the real
Everybody's saying that,
people, in the story about him telling, Doug Moe, you better put a black guy on me, all that true, because he was like, you disrespected me putting a white guy on me. Ain't no white guy can guard me. You better put a brother on me. I mean, that's how he was.
Yeah, and then some of the brothers couldn't
and they couldn't do nothing with him. He said the only one that could was Coop.
Yeah.
He said Coop was the only one that could really guard him. He called him the best defensive player he's ever seen. Right? Yeah. And that's big time. But Larry would talk mucho during the game. He tell you where he's going. He catch it, shoot it, and then you jump it. He tell you, man, you jump high, but you don't jump that damn high. He was just the biggest trash talker that I've ever seen. But I think in the 30 for 30, I even said, but I guess it ain't trash talking if you're backing it up.
Right. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He telling you what he gonna do, and he's doing it. So I guess it's just him being a prophet and telling you exactly what he's gonna do.
It's a warning.
And when he's gonna do it. So
warning shots.
Yeah. Larry Bird was one of the greatest players I've ever seen.
Yeah, Bird won 3 titles, 3 MVPs, 13-year career. I'm just saying, brother. And again, it's the career wise. They both have the same amount of MVPs. We're not gonna do that. Jokic's gonna finish better. He's gonna finish better statistically than Larry did. That's a gimme. So I will say that. I think it takes more titles, man. You know what? If he ends up with 3 more titles, I think we can have that conversation. I think we can. I think we can definitely have that conversation. I can even say this: if he wins 3 more titles, I'll say that Jokic won more with less. I'll be fair about that. Kevin McHale, one of the best power forwards. So I'll say if Joker wins 2 more titles to give him 3 to match Bird, Jokic did more with less than what Larry did. But overall player, I mean, man, Larry was sick, man. Like sick on the. You can hear it just about everywhere, man. You hear about everywhere. If there was no Jordan, Larry Bird would be the real GOAT. Some can really say, and I know a couple of NBA guys that would not disagree with you. If not for the injuries, the possibilities of Larry being up there are very good. I mean, due to injuries, you're talking about a guy that could have won a couple more MVPs, could have taken Boston to a few more titles. I mean, sky was the limit if not for injuries for Bird. But he played the game so hard that it tore up his body quick, really quick. He left it all on the court. Brother, I love Larry Legend. I was making a comparison with your own description of what Jokic does. Yeah, man. I totally get what you're saying. And the comparisons to both guys, I mean, it's unreal. It's very unreal. And I'm trying to I think what I love about the conversations that we have here on Sweep is that no one's ever wrong. We've always said here, if you came up to me and said Tim Duncan is the greatest player of all time, hands down, never had a losing record, MVP, Finals MVP, 5-time champion, made the playoffs every year of his career. That's why he's the GOAT. I'll look you dead in your eye and say, you know what? I respect that. If you came up to me and said, you know what? Michael Olowokandi was the greatest player I had ever seen. I'm like, yeah, I respect that. I'll turn around and laugh, but I'll respect that. I'm not going to argue with people on that. Your MVP, your GOAT, your guys' list, top 10 list is going to be different from mine. It's going to be different from Derek's. It's going to be different from everybody's. That's why we have the conversations. We keep them all civil, man. And I love it here. I love talking to you guys about it. So, yeah, I know the description. It's ungodly when you think about Larry and Jokic, how they play. That's the thing. But man, if Larry was able to have a longer career, I mean, you're talking. Some guys have him in the top 5 of all time. That's like me saying Drazen Petrovic. As massive of a fan and admirer of Drazen Petrovic's game. I mean, the guy, you have guys that would say Michael Jordan said Drazen Petrovic was the hardest guy he ever had to guard. Reggie Miller says that. Most recently, Vernon Maxwell said, he would rather guard Michael Jordan than Drazen Petrovic. Had Drazen not passed away, talk about another guy that's top 15, top 20. I mean, top 15, maybe top 10, possibly. I mean, who knows? Who knows, man? Love to talk, y'all. Love the comments, man. Keep them going. Appreciate you as always. Prime Duncan versus Prime Joker. How does it go down? Oh, man, you're really putting me on the... Jacob put it back. It's going to cause a black hole. Man, okay, so... I'm going to say Prime Joker. Sucks. But on the low block, I think they're both very similar on the low block. Timmy could dribble. Timmy could take you off the dribble. Timmy's quicker. But I think Jokic has a little bit more in his arsenal than Timmy had. And that's why I think I would probably take Prime Joker over Duncan. Don't hate me. My head is going a million miles an hour right now. My brain's working because my brain is braining right now. Because I'm looking at it all. I'm taking away MVPs. I'm taking away championship appearances, and I'm going Prime Duncan, Prime Joker. I like that, but I almost would take Prime Joker just because he has a little bit more in his arsenal. Now, one-on-one, Timmy would eat him up alive in the low post. But even if I'm not mistaken, even Tim Duncan said Joker was a very hard person to guard for him. He was very crafty. So I'm going to go Joker. And as I say that, we lost Leha. I'm done with this show. Joker over Duncan. That's it. I'm out. Nope. Deuces. Okay. I mean, again, we keep it real, man. Sorry, Leha, but one thing you're not gonna miss out on is MCS General Contracting, man. Not gonna miss out on that at all, man. You gotta look at the numbers, man. Is Timmy better than Joker ranking wise? Yeah, he's gonna be better than Joker. He's top 5 player ever of all time. But if we're talking one-on-one, I mean, Joker's career is not even done yet. I don't even know. I think we're just witnessing his prime. And we don't even know if this is everything in his prime. So I mean, I gotta take the Spurs fandom hat off. I'm gotta be real. I take Timmy over Joker ranking wise, playing wise, but on a one-on-one, I don't know. I mean, to me, I have to take, I got to take Nikola, just in my opinion, for right now. Leja's going to withdraw the sponsorship now. Yeah, I'm going to probably get that text message that we've lost sponsorship from MCS General Contracting. And, oh, man, just because of Joker. Damn you, Joker. Joker got me in trouble tonight. Larry did play in a harder NBA. I have to account for that. I just wanted to light fire with the convo. Nah, man. You know what? That's the combos we like to have. That's the talks we love to have. I'd rather talk to you guys and interact with you guys because we love talking to them. I love talking to you guys. When Derek's on here, we love talking to you guys about it too. Talking about old NBA, old NFL, old everything. So keep bringing it. And there's the I'm done. Leja withdraw. He says, no, it's all business. Business is business. I know we're all messing around, man. I'm going to get cooked, and I'm okay with it. I'm all right. It's not the first time I'm going to be cooking. Just do me a favor as we end the show here. Joker looks like he doesn't even try and cook fools. That's what I'm saying. It's like that. But Timmy did the same thing, but Joker has a little bit more than just a tad bit in his arsenal. He's got a couple things that I like. You're going to cook me on X. You're going to cook me on social. By all means, do it, Leja. But I will say this. Just don't delete it. Keep it real. Don't ever delete it. Leave it up there for everybody to see. And don't take it down at all, man. Don't take it down. Okay, Prime George Mikan or Prime, come on, man. It's gonna be Joker off of the Prime George Mikan and Prime Joker. It's gonna be Joker. Mikan's got the height, but yeah, definitely. I know you're kidding about that. Yeah, shout out to that. Yeah, I know you do. I'm just making sure, man. I'm just making sure. Don't delete anything. People tend to say stuff, delete stuff. Don't delete anything. Before we go here, the MLB season is kicking off, man. Let's get ready. Spring training's going on right now. So for the end of the Sweep the League here, we're going to leave you with a Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose video to the end. Sweep the League. Damn it. I said I was going to leave, and I'm still here. There you go. Well, we're getting ready to end the show, man. So we'll all be out of here in just a little bit, but appreciate you sticking till the end, even though my hot take was butt. Put it that way. I can't really cuss, but we'll say it's butt, man. And put up with your Astros. But yeah, you're ready for MLB. You're ready for MLB. That's why we're gonna end the show here with some MLB video. Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose. Appreciate everybody dropping in tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Shout out to MCS General Contracting. Chris Leja and the boys going to guaranteed to take care of you guys every single time. Not only do they guarantee the work, Sweep the League here, all of us here, we guarantee their work too. They are 100% backed by Sweep the League. They're going to do it right the first time. Every time, contact Chris Leja and the boys over at MCS General Contracting. I don't delete anything like how. That's why I keep getting 7-day suspensions on X. Oh, God. You guys are always getting suspensions. And just like everything else, I know Jacob Eric throws out red cards and yellow cards to everybody as well. So before I get one from Leja, a red card, and I get canceled, this is Rudy Campos Jr. for Derek Gervin, for Coach Gio. Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again tomorrow. We'll see you later, knuckleheads. Here's a little Nolan Ryan and Pete Rose. Get you ready for the MLB season.
Position that let down and blew the opportunity.
Right back to Ryan. Pete says, all right, you got me, pal.
In 1980, we were playing Philadelphia, and whoever won that game goes to the World Series. I go down to take batting practice, and Pete's on one knee, and he's leaning on his bat watching. And when I got through hitting, I walked out, and Pete goes, "Hey, Nolan, I wish you'd get that curveball of yours over just one time. Do you remember this?"
No. I didn't say Mr. Ryan.
No, you said Nolan. You said, "I wish you'd get that curveball over just one time." I go, "Yeah, why is that, Pete?" And he says, "Because I'm going to hit it right off your blanking forehead." And I go, "Oh, all right, we'll see about that." So, we get into the game, and first 2 times up, I don't throw him any curveballs. 3rd time up, throw him fastball in. Throw him fastball away, counts 1-1. I think, now's my chance. Well, I throw my curveball, and when it leaves my hand, I know it's a good pitch. It was a pitch I wanted to throw. But I see Pete's eyes light up, and he hits the most vicious line drive that would have hit me in the face if I hadn't got my glove up. And he's running to first base pointing at me. Okay? And he comes across the mound, he says a couple ugly things to me.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.